Righto, folks. So we're going to look at the beginnings of exercise 2C, which is about multiplying and dividing surds. So what are we talking about when we're multiplying or dividing surds? If I've got A times the square root of B multiplied by C times the square root of D, then if I look at that, let me just sort of pick one of them. Let me look at A root B. Okay, so there's obviously two parts to me writing down something like this. So that we can, if we sort of think about it in terms of algebra that we already know, it's going to be easier for us to understand how the arithmetic works. So, excuse me. Sorry about that. As I was saying, if we think about it in terms of algebra that we already know, it's going to be easy for us to follow how the arithmetic works. If we think about the number out the front here as a coefficient, and then the number here underneath the radical as a separate part of the term, then the maths makes a little bit more sense to us. So coming back over here, if I've got A times the square root of B times C times the square root of D, like I would with normal algebra, I'm just multiplying the coefficients. So A and C get multiplied together. And underneath the radical sign, underneath the square root sign, the B and the D get multiplied together too. So if we look at an example to make it a bit more straightforward for us, if I've got 3 times the square root of 5 times 4 times the square root of 7, then I'm just multiplying the 3 and the 4, give me 12, and I'm multiplying the 5 and the 7, give me 35. And that's it, that's those two surds multiplied. Likewise, when we're dividing, it works exactly the same way. If I've got A times the square root of B divided by C times the square root of D, that's going to work out as A over C multiplied by the square root of B over D. So a practical example, if I had, say, 10 root, 27 divided by 2 root 3, that would work out to 10 divided by 2 times the square root of 27 divided by 3. And we can simplify now. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. And 27 divided by 3 is 9. And I can simplify that even further now because I know what the square root of 9 is. That's 5 times 3, which is 15. Okay, so they really are pretty simple to multiply. A little tiny bit different to algebra, but it follows a lot of the same principles. Let me show you another application of this thing. If I have a number outside of a set of brackets that include surds, so if I've got 3 outside of 2 root 7 minus 5 root 6, but just like it does with normal algebra, normal what we call the distributive law, it applies here as well. So this means that 3 is being multiplied by everything inside the brackets. So 3 is being multiplied by the 2 root 7. Now 3 is like a coefficient. So the 3 and the 2 get multiplied to give me 6 root 7. The 3 and the negative 5 get multiplied to give me negative 15 root 6. Because the 3 doesn't have a surd part to it, or anything under a radical stuck to it, then it does nothing to the 7 over here and it does nothing to the 6 over there. Okay, look, every exercise starts off with easy examples and then it builds you up. I'll let you guys get into exercise 2C, make a start. Invariably, you're going to get to something that is going to come unstuck a little bit for you. Please feel free to drop a question in the comments below or go over to our Microsoft Teams page where you can submit a question there, and I'll come up with a follow-up to that as soon as I possibly can. Thanks, guys. Work hard.